Hey everybody, DeHubs here doing a different style of video. I've always talked about how I wanted to bring magic to the channel, and so I think I'm going to do that jumping into Pauper here. This is a little bit of a home brew. I call it blue-black birds. If you don't usually watch Magic, there are tribes. So you see this belongs to birds, but if you do play Magic, then you know what I'm talking about. So our deck is built around jamming some of these bird creatures. So Owl familiar right here. When it enters the battlefield, will draw us a card and then discard a card. Sage Owl, when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. It's not as powerful as, say, Scry 4, but it still lets us kind of set up our draws. And then we play Ponder also to set up our draws. It lets us look at the top 3 cards of our library, then put them back in any order. And then we may shuffle our library if we didn't like the 3, and then we can draw a card. Cavern Harpy over here is not exactly a bird, but it's got wings, so I'm counting it. It's flying just like all the other ones, and when it enters the battlefield, we may return a blue or black creature we control to its owner's hand, and then we can pay 1 life to return it back to our hand. And the reason that's kind of important is our win condition over here is Parasitic Strix. And when it enters the battlefield, if we control a black permanent, such as Cavern Harpy, Tide Hollow Strix, yeah, I think those are it as far as black permanents go. If we control one of them, then target player loses 2 life and we gain 2 life. So this is really important in racing and just getting incremental damage in. And then last, as far as the birds go, is Tide Hollow Strix, Flying, Death Touch. Also very important against the aggro matchups where Death Touch is super relevant. Filling out kind of the flex spots of the deck would be Trinket Mage. So when it enters the battlefield, we may search the library for an artifact with converted mana cost 1 or less, reveal it, and put it in our hand, and then shuffle our library. And that's to get these Bone Splinters. And when they come in, we can equip them onto a bird and make them a big flying threat. So Bone Splitter, very good in this deck, making our owls into 3/1s, or yeah, 3/1s, 4/1s, and 4/4. And he lets us go and tutor them, so we don't have to play a bunch of artifacts if we don't want to. Stormbound Geist, flying. I don't know if it has wings or not. Can't really tell in that art. Probably doesn't since it's a spirit, but hey. It's flying, can block only creatures with flying, which comes up from time to time, and has Undying. And it doesn't say right here, but Undying, when he dies, instead of staying in the graveyard, he'll come back to the battlefield instantly as a 3/3. And then if he dies again, he'll have to go to the graveyard since he has a +1/+1 counter. But what we're trying to do is block with this, have it come back as a 3/3, and then when need be, Cavern Harpy can bounce this back to our hand, allowing us to reset it back as a 2/2. I had them in the sideboard, but I think that interaction is important enough with flyers that are becoming popular. Delvers, Fairies, Mole Drifter, who else? Oh, the Boros decks that play the Sky Fisher, maybe? Something like that. There's a 2/3 flyer that deck likes to play, and some other ones. I think that's all the creatures. I got Mana Leak in here as a counterspell. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. I want to play counterspell, but believe it or not, I actually don't have any online. And the double blue, I'm not sure about since this is Pauper and all. Diabolic Edicts for removal. Target player sacrifices a creature. I expected to play a lot of Hexproof and Stompy kind of decks. I haven't played it once. I've been playing Pauper for about 4 or 5 days online. Haven't come across a single Stompy list. And then Doomblade to destroy target non-black creatures. Some of the best creatures in the format are black in Gurmag Angler and the Horror from the Flicker deck. But there's also a lot of non-black creatures. So all the elves and the Stompy dudes, all the Delver and the Flicker cards are blue. So Doomblade has a lot of targets. And let's see, the mana base, when I was buying into Pauper, I was working on a green-black deck, so I got the green-black lands that I needed, and totally forgot to buy the blue-black land, so I don't have the Aqueducts or the Dismal Backwater. I have these from, I think, Standard, the Submerged Boneyard. I got the Radiant Fountains to help gain us life. And they're supposed to be picked up with the Aqueduct since you have to bounce a land, but I totally slipped my mind. I got Bajuka Bog here to exile graveyards. Can come up against Flicker decks. And this, I only picked up one of these cycling lands for the black, and I don't have any of the Lonely, I think it's Lonely Sandbar is the blue cycling land. So I should say this is version 1 of the deck. I'll update it as I get more of the cards for it. I splurged and spent about $5 on Pauper, and so obviously I forgot to get some stuff. My sideboard, I just have Dispels to counter target instants. This will come up to stop Ghostly Flicker decks. Could also come in against Burn and counter spells, obviously. Disdainful Stroke, I didn't even realize this was Pauper legal. I love this card in Modern, but it actually has a lot of implications, as the 3 most popular decks I've played are Flicker decks, Tron decks, and Affinity decks. This hits a lot in the blue-based Tron decks. I don't know all the names yet, but they have that 6/7 drop, maybe? Like Leviathan creature they try to cheat out. So this counters that. In Tron or in Flicker, it'll counter the Horror. It'll also counter the green creature, which sacrifices artifacts, or whenever an artifact goes to the graveyard, you gain life. So counter that. Counters a lot of the cards that are going to actually beat us. And then negates round out our little counterspell package. Not sure if it's the best counterspell package. I don't have blue or Hydroblast, whichever one is Pauper legal online. I don't have that card. Coast Watcher, keeping up with the bird theme, flying and protection from green, comes in against Stompy and Infect and all that stuff that I haven't even played yet. So right now this has kind of been 3 wasted sideboard spots. As there's only been 2 green creatures I've even fought, and that was the green one from Affinity that has Metalcraft, and the green one from Tron, which sacks artifacts. I don't know them too well because they don't really see play outside of Pauper. Chainer's Edict, target player sacrifices a creature, and then there's Flashback for the grindy matchups where we want that effect, and I only have 3 Diabolic Edicts, so this is kind of like a 4th Diabolic Edict. I guess the jury's still out on whether Chainer's Edict or Diabolic Edict is better. One's instant speed, but one has flashback. So pros and cons. Doomblade versions 2 and 3. Brushed with Death. Brushed with Death. I'm still testing this card out. I haven't played Burn or any really hyper aggressive matchups. 3 mana to have target player lose 2 life and you gain 2 life doesn't seem that bad, but I haven't really played against the hyper aggressive aggro decks. Choking Sands is destroy target non-swamp. I don't even know if I want this because it doesn't actually beat Tron. It's just kind of a tempo play, and our deck isn't super aggressive. We don't put a huge clock on them on most draws, so I'm not even sure how good this card is. Maybe it should just be something else. And then Niall's Spellbomb is sacrifice it to exile all cards from target player's graveyard. We can play back black to draw a card, so it's never a dead card as long as we have a swamp up. We can just cycle it to try to draw into something else, but it also helps get ghostly flickers and the such out of the yard. But that's going to be it for the deck tech. We'll jump into the match. This is version 1, so as we play some matches, we'll feel free to kind of update it. We're not running it through any leagues. We're just going to play in the tournament practice rounds because we're still working on the deck and all the such. So we can feel free to make changes after rounds or in between videos. Did I take a card out of my sideboard, or am I just missing a card? Either way, I'm going to get that adjusted, and then I will see you guys in the first match. Alright, so we're back, and we would like to play first. No black mana. And that's going to be the hardest part, is figuring out what we actually want to keep and what we don't want to keep. I think... let's just go ahead and mulligan. Our deck draws cards. This is a 1-lander, but we do get to scry. There's the island, so we'll leave it on top. We'll play this. Would like to be pondering, but that's okay. I see we're already at a disadvantage as we're up against Protein Soup. All I had was eggs for breakfast. So it could be mono black control. Let's play this and get our Sage Owl out, and we'll set up our draw for next turn. They can't counter it. Maybe they disfigure it if they want to. Alright, so there's the black mana. And I've messed this up before. I'm going to put this on top. If it's working the way that I want it to work, then we want it like that. But I made it to where even if I did it backwards, I'm still going to draw a swamp next turn, and that's something I'm into. I'm going to clear my throat, so there's going to be a little cut right here. Alright, so still could be mono black, doesn't have to be. Okay, so I know this could be zombies, because zombies runs Nameless Inversion. Really the worst part about that was he took us off of Cavern Harpy bouncing Sage Owl to replay it. I guess I didn't really stress that, or maybe I did, I don't really remember. In the deck tech, Cavern Harpy is kind of the glue to the whole deck, but we would have liked to get Cavern Harpy down and then bounce Cavern Harpy to... We can pay 1 life to get Cavern Harpy back to our hand and such. But anyway, let's see if we did it right. Tide Hollow? Okay, we did do it. We're going to go ahead and make him... It is instant speed. Normally what I do is when they put a creature on the stack, I'll Diabolic Edict there, but I don't know. It's not super important. He's going to do the same thing to us, but that's okay. We're going to come back bigger and stronger and better. So, see, he's good against Edict effects, such as this Verdict. Now, another kill spell will do it for him, which is not exactly what we want to happen. We want to keep him around, ideally. Alright. And we should be drawing the Trinket Mage. I'm waiting on him. He's got... Okay. There we go. So as much as I want to draw the Swamp just to get more mana going, I do want to go ahead and get this down. Put him on a clock. Let's see if he makes us sacrifice. No, not yet. Yes, we would like to use the ability. And see, this fetches up our Bone Splitters. And now we get to get in with 3, though it's... If he didn't commit any zombies or anything to the board, it's probably safe to assume he has some removal spell here. I guess not. So you'll see what we get to do next turn. It's weird for him to have 5 mana and not doing anything. Okay, so it's definitely zombies and not some kind of control list. Or there's another list actually running this that tries to sacrifice these spirits. I'm not super familiar with that deck. I did play it one time though. And we obviously fly over zombies. So they don't really get a ground game going on us. Alright, we'll end the turn. Now we could offer a trade here, but I don't think that's really necessary at all. So what we're going to do is play that. And now we're going to swing. Any sack effects we'll use on Trinket Mage. And hope that he doesn't kill our Stormbound Geist, because it's one of the better creatures in the deck. Being a 3/3 flyer, he's just our biggest dude. And our most resilient dude. Alright, and now we'll try getting down the Cavern Harpy. It's just so crazy to believe that he wouldn't have removal. And then we'll bounce the Geist. So now, even if he wants to try to kill it, he's going to have to kill it twice again. So we basically wasted this Verdict card for him. He's going to pay 1 life, do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. Let's see what this is. Gurmag Angler, which is fine. Like I said, we can fly over this deck, so it's Gurmag Angler backed up by removal spells and not letting us get a board going that's gonna really hurt us. I'm fine with this. I want to leave Trinket Mage back to block the Gurmag Angler, in all honesty. Lands, which is actually just really awesome because I just want to make sure I don't get bottlenecked on any kind of mana here. And you'll see how this really helps us swing races in creature matchups. Stormbound can even act as a blocker 1 turn and come back as a 3/3 flyer. Okay. Choose them. So they go down to 11, we go up to 19. And we'll fly over for 2 more, put them at 9. Actually, I'm kind of in the business of doing this. Just put as much pressure on them because they have 2 cards in hand. I can't think of any removal spell in Pauper that can get them out of this. Though, they could just run a bunch of good cards, I guess. But there's not 1 card, I think, that fixes their problem. Trinket Mage can block Gurmag Angler. Death Touch can block Gurmag Angler. This can block Gurmag Angler twice. All the while we are flying over with our birds carrying axes. It's just, it's a good time to be playing blue-black birds. I don't know how... what tier this zombie deck is in. I know the professor did a video covering it, so it's probably shot up in some level of popularity. Okay, so there's the old Shepherd of Rot, but honestly, that would kill him well before it kills us, and it doesn't have haste. So we're doing alright. I mean, we have him just dead on board because we can swing for 4, knock him down to 2. Yeah, look. There's 6 points of power right here. And we can bounce place again. Gain 2 life, drain them for 2 more. So it's not even unheard of for them to just concede right here. Depending on that 1 card in their hand. Disfigure could kill the Harpy, which would buy him some time. But not even, because it has instant speed, bounce it back to our hand. Gurmag Angler. Again, we don't even have to really block. But I don't mind blocking just to keep our life total high. We can actually... No, we just have 1 activation. We don't have near enough mana to bounce this, play it again, bounce that. Does he have... I don't know. I'd just let this go through if I was him. Yeah. And he doesn't have a way of... I'm gonna guess he has a kill spell or something going on here. Tap, tap. Okay. So I added, the 1 card I added was Shrivel. Because elves, fairies, and the such. I played against this mono white deck. This Knight's Soldier deck with the bird that can't attack. I know if you don't know Pauper, this is not helpful, but if you do know Pauper, you probably know what I'm talking about. This spells don't seem very good. Negates don't seem very good. Disdainful Stroke seems alright against Gurmag, but I don't think we'd ever leave 2 mana up to play around Gurmag Angler. So really, Chainer's Edict and maybe Brush with Death are the only things that even interest me out of my sideboard. Maybe Nile Spellbomb, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever use that. It really just, to my knowledge, shuts down Gurmag Angler. Maybe there's more. I'm not overly familiar with the zombie deck. I'll cut 1 Owl. That's the other thing. I never know what to take out. The Owls are my weakest birds. I never touch the Harpies, the Tide Hollow, or the Strix. Maybe 1 Owl. 1 Sage Owl? Maybe. We probably don't even have to sideboard. That first round went pretty well. Now, I guess it's hard to believe each round goes out like that. We were on the play too, weren't we? So, we'll see. There's a chance he runs us over. We were able to get a Timely Edict off on the Carrion Feeder while that was the only creature he had, and I think that probably played a big part in it. Is my guess. Yeah, we have a turn 2 Chainer's Edict and turn 2 Mana Leak, so seems fine for keeping the board clear, depending on 1-drop. I think Carrion Feeder and the other zombie, the 2/2, I think those are both 1-drops. But we'll also get to draw a card. So we will see. It's got Tide Hollow Strix as well. What I've found is that this deck doesn't enjoy when its 2-drop gets killed. Most of the time, because Cavern Harpy can just sit in your hand like a dead card. If they, say, disfigure Tide Hollow Strix when you're trying to follow it up with Parasitic Strix or Cavern Harpy, then you just get kind of really sad, I guess, because you really want another permanent on the battlefield for both Harpy and Strix to be maxed valued. Alright, there's the swamp. And let's see. If he doesn't have a turn 1 play, that is fine by me. But it's hard to believe running at least 8 1-drops. Creature-wise, they don't have anything. Festering Mummy. Okay. So they have way more than 8, I guess. Festering Mummy is actually pretty good against a lot of the stuff we're trying to do. They can sack it to their Carrion Feeder and kill whatever bird we play. And it's also just a good card against Edicts, because they'll play Carrion Feeder next, or a 2-drop or something like that. And they definitely don't mind sacrificing this. They definitely don't mind sacrificing either one of these cards, so I guess Chainer's Edict actually looks pretty bad coming out of the board. This could have been an Owl, and maybe we'd just rather have the Owl. It's something to keep in mind in Game 3, if we go to a Game 3. So right now it kind of makes the most sense to me to get Tide Hollow Strix on the board and just kind of start racing. A Carrion Feeder sacrificing both of these kind of puts us behind. So let's see what he does. Ooh, the Witches. I'm not completely upset with this. This can ping our Tide Hollow Strix, and then we can turn around and ping their Festering Mummy. That could be something that happens. Oh, there's Carrion Feeder. We didn't bring Shrivel out of the board, but maybe that's not the worst thing either. Yeah, this matchup's playing a bit differently. Let's go ahead and get that down. Wait, I thought I played an island last turn. Chainer's Edict actually just turns this into a 2/2. I'll just total up Mana Leak. This isn't out of control yet, and there's a chance if he sacrifices his whole board to this Carrion Feeder, we can just Chainer's Edict it next turn. Though I doubt he'll let us do that. He's gonna cycle, so he's gonna draw a card if you're unfamiliar with cycling. Let's see, it's not Gurmag Angler time yet, is it? I mean, we'd Mana Leak it anyway. Alright. Yeah, well, that's why we left Mana Leak up. Not gonna let him keep developing his board. So this actually kind of... Not this turn, but... This will be a problem. Depending on what that one card in hand is. Because we can actually get this big enough to where he has to sacrifice his board. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna pick him. How far off are we from... That takes 7 mana to buy back. We have 2 cards that want us to be at 7 mana. Oh, I didn't play... He distracted me with the Witch trigger. Because I was going to play this, then play the Bones, but he distracted me. Alright, what do you got? We did waste our Mana Leak. So we can jump in front of this. Make him sacrifice this. Maybe that's worth it, right? Oh, I can only block creatures with fly. Oh, I said it in the deck tech. It comes up. It does absolutely come up. I'm trying to get him to sacrifice this so our Chainer's Edict isn't so bad. Because it is kind of just bad right now. Okay. He at least did that. Now something like Diabolic Edict off the top isn't even the worst thing. He can flip that over, can't he? I think he can flip it over. I think that's how Manifest works. Okay, we wouldn't mind another bird. There we go. This one is alright, because now we can set up our draw, try to find some removal. Oh, that's fine. He's targeting the bird, that's okay. I guess that one's not particularly great. It's Parasitic Strict or Bust, because that Kumbaya which is putting in work. And there she is. Alright, so let's do Island on bottom. I like you, but you're not particularly useful yet. And then do it like that. Play this. I guess we're still alive, right? 2, 5, 6. So we're definitely still alive for next turn. Equip. And play for the long game. We don't have a black permanent, so we're not going to get the trigger. Oh, man. That's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, Summoning Sickness. I'm going to go ahead and equip. Be mana efficient. So they're out of cards. If we can handle this board... No Gurmag Anglers, please. kind of hard to race it as it stands. No blocks, obviously. 18 to 5. Alright, so we can... Do we want to make him sacrifice something? He'd probably sacrifice... What would he sacrifice? 3, 6, 8, 2, 4, 5. Well, let's do this. This will let us know. We don't need double black for anything, but we still have double black. Can't do this and brush with death. I just want to know if this is going to die or not. Alright, I guess we'll go for it. You discard a card. I also think I left Doomblade in over the birds, and I think that'll be the first thing I change. Shriveled does look bad here. That's good to know. Okay, he got rid of the 2/2, which makes me pretty happy. And yeah, I'm absolutely getting in here. What did he deal the 1 damage to? Me, probably? Yeah, he probably did me. Gotta get rid of that witch, man. I was gonna just not block this, but I don't think I have that luxury. If that's a kill spell in his hand, they could take this out, then we lose, which is a bit unfortunate. But he's gonna give us the chance to at least block. Alright, I don't remember what we left on top. Okay, that's not the worst. Little does he know, we are not dead yet. Oh my goodness. We might actually win. This is crazy, but we might actually can win. I'm not sure, I haven't done all the math correctly. But we have to do this right now. I almost was going to try to do it at instant speed, which wouldn't work. Target opponent loses 2 life. Okay, so you lose 2 life. Oh, I think we did it. Wow, brush with death. I don't want to get too cocky, but we can... Really depends on what he plays. 4 to 5. Oh my goodness, here we go. What do you got, man? Can I mana leak it? Because if I can't mana leak it, he can get to 5. Oh. Do they have something that can deal 2 damage to me? Or 1 damage to me? Oh, geez. What does he have? Stormbound Geist, man. Oh, does that work? I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, that's so good on him. Man. Draw a card. Stormbound Geist. Couldn't block, though. It not blocking did come back to bite us. I wasn't thinking at all. I want the Doomblade out. And... Probably cut the... I don't know, this gives us immediate value. Yeah, I'll do it like that. Alright, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. I'm not sure how I didn't think of the sacking the witch. That's kind of upsetting. If we wanted more threats, then... Okay. I was gonna say, the good thing about Coast Watcher is if we just want more threats than controlling elements, we could do it like that. This has no pressure. I don't know how I feel about it. We really want a creature in the graveyard to get the most out of soul manipulation, which I'm not even sure if I went over this card in the deck tech, but we can counter target creature spell or choose one or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So the sweet thing about it is it gets you a lot of advantages. Countering their creature and then getting a creature back from your hand is pretty good. I'll say that. Come on, internet. Don't do this to me. Not now. We're in round 3. Or game 3. Whatever you want to call it. I tried not to go over every single thing in the deck tech so I would have something to talk about over the couple of hours that we play this. Obviously, the good thing about Magic is you can just react to what's going on, but sometimes there's some dead time. Like right now, as my swamp faces his swamp. If he doesn't want to have a turn 1 play, okay. That's also fine. Not going to mana leak that. Or obviously not going to mana leak that, but this gives us a chance to hold up mana leak and mana leak whatever it is he does want to play. So let's make sure we play this island and not double swamp. We'll feel pretty bad. You can't hold up Chainer's Edict. It's sorcery speed. He's got a lot of stops on our... That makes me wish that was an island and not a swamp. But as it stands, we'll still go Trinket Mage, get Bone Splitter, then just see where we're standing after that. We can always use this as a counter spell instead of a really good advantage spell, you know, if that comes up. What's that to see? So I don't have any on right now, but I probably in post adding music. So you guys will have to let me know. I don't really know what music fits Magic. Festering Mummy. That's not going to be what kills us. Oh, maybe it will be, though. Oh, okay. I was going to say, he didn't attack, but... It has Summoning Sickness, obviously. I'm not going to hold up Mana Leak. I'm going to just advance my board, not sit on the back foot the whole game. Use its ability, please. We didn't throw a Trinket Mage in here to not use its ability, am I right? Anyway, what I was saying is, I may try different songs, you know, throughout each video. Carrion Feeder. Kind of wish I had held up Mana Leak. But, if he sacks it... He's given us a very ripe chance to kill this and then Chainer's Edict that, but I just not going to pull the trigger. He's still got that one open mana, and I don't want to do anything too dumb. Mana Leak is still a hard counter until he hits 4 lands. Okay, so we wouldn't have got punished for blocking. Man, I really wanted an island game. So let's get the Bone Splitter down. And we can just race, honestly, or we can hold up. Oh yeah, we can do both. We can do both. In fact, at some point we don't even mind losing Trinket Mage because it turns on soul manipulation. So I'm actually really liking this hand. We still have Mana Leak for anything too scary. This just can become a 2/2. So yeah, I'm liking our spot. He can sacrifice this if you're unfamiliar with the life staff. You gain 3 life when the equipped creature dies, and Carrion Feeder makes it to where it has instant speed ability to sacrifice that. So it is something we'll have to play around, but if you know blue and black, especially in Pauper, they don't really have a way of dealing with artifacts. Not that I can think of, anyway. If you run a blue-black control deck and you have a way of dealing with artifacts, you'll have to let me know. Affinity is kind of a headache, so much so that a null almost looks tempting. At 1 mana, you can counter target artifact or enchantment. Oof. We don't have that black permanent. I'm gonna just swing and then play Cavern Harpy. Like I said, until he gets to 4 lands, Mana Leak card counters anything. Including that. So yeah, get out of here. Now what it does do is it takes me off a Cavern Harpy, and that's why I went ahead and attacked first. Can't advance my board under this mana constraint. But that's fine, we're winning this race. What he can do now is sacrifice both, turn this into a 3/3, kill Trinket Mage, and swing, but then he turns on our Soul Manipulation. But that's actually okay for him, because he turns off basically the rest of our hand. We'd have to play... No, we'd still have Chainer's Edict, which would be good enough. I'm guessing he'll do it instant speed, so after we attack. But before damage goes through, he'll probably sacrifice both of these to kill Trinket Mage. So I'm just not going to reveal any more information than that. I will let him... He may do it right now, but... Okay, there it goes. Yep, you got it. You'll make it a 3/1, and then you'll sacrifice... he has to do it on his end step, or else... the boo-boo will go bye-bye. So he's going to do it to that way he can gain 3 life back. But as much as he shuts down our board, we're just going to Chainer's Edict his Carrion Feeder. That's kind of the problem with it, is this deck can storm the board and kind of give itself Edict protection, but then to get plays like that, which was a very cool play, look at his life total, he kind of opens himself up to the Chainer's Edict. And still stuck on 2 lands, it's not like he's having the best time in the world. He does take us off of our creatures for a turn. If you're wondering, we can play Cavern Harpy under this mana, but you have to return a blue or black creature, so he would just return himself. Return 2 zombie cards. Ah, well, that is unfortunate. Okay, I'm actually fine with you going Festering Mummy first. I need a land off the top. Island, please. Let's go island. Come on. I'm not going off of Soul's Manipulation. He's got the Carrion Feeder in his hand, and we can get back Trinket Mage. Ooh. That's a shame. Yeah, well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going off of Soul Manipulation mana, and I need this blue mana. So play Carrion Feeder, or get in for 1, whichever you prefer. Well, also... well, this can only counter target creature spell, so... Go for it. He's punishing us, because we didn't advance our board, and... held up all this mana for something we can't counter. Though, if he plays an... we're actually kind of hoping he plays a Swamp, because we don't want to be just sitting on our mana. We want to be countering that Carrion Feeder. So you play it, I'll counter it, bud. Just show me the Swamp. If he doesn't play the Swamp, he's going to have to discard the hand size. But he can think about all that later. I kind of figured he would go Life Staff on the Festering Mummy, play the Carrion Feeder. Oh, he's got a discard. I want an island. Show me the island. Trinket Mage. Well, I can't just sit on my hands. We're both back to square one. He got the, he got, what's it called? The Carrion Feeder back. I got the Trinket Mage back. And it gave me a creature that doesn't die to Festering Mummy. I couldn't play Cavern Harpy or Tidehollow Strix for that reason. But once Festering Mummy's gone, Tidehollow Strix then becomes able to block the Carrion Feeder, no problem. With the Death Touch, if you're unfamiliar with Death Touch, if it assigns 1 point of damage to a creature, it will die, no questions asked. Even if that toughness doesn't get reduced to 0, it will still die. So Tidehollow Strix is basically a removal spell for this deck. When it needs to be. So Carrion Feeder, probably. Oh, yeah. He's just equipping. If he swings, we may just... We'll probably just trade so that... Do we want to trade? Probably not, right? Or do we? I don't know. I guess so. I don't really want to be taking 2 points of damage. Or I can... I don't know, man. We're not drawing the islands that we need. I'm not trying to lose this game. You can gain the 3 life. I really just want to take away the Carrion Feeder combo. And getting Festering Mummy away means I can play Tidehollow Strix. Ugh. We need to start pressuring the board. Let's find that island, shall we? Not there. Not there at all. But these are all really good. So, next turn... Trying to think of how I want to sequence this. I want to get Brush with Death. Sorry, I'm going to need a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 mana. Okay. I think I want... Then that. Then that. Then maybe that. It's so tough to say because of that blue mana. We're just so stuck on it. I don't know if he's going to want to sacrifice this to Carrion Feeder or not since it's reach for him. I don't know. We can't really ever present Mana Leak either because we know for the next 4 turns there's no blue mana. There's Carrion Feeder. He'll probably try to get 1 activation off of the Shepherd of Rot. Can't imagine him swinging. Yeah, I didn't think so. So I'm gonna try to race it. No, we really need to hold up Soul Manipulation to get. So give me my blue back. We'll give it a second. Let it figure out what's going on. All right, so undo that, please. We'll tap, get that going. I want to punish him for, you know, using this line. Choose target creature. The internet has decided that it needs a break. But we are soul manipulating the first thing we see. We could double equip, turn it into a 5/1, and just hold up Mana Leak. Because Mana Leak is still good, even if he... Well, it's less good if he plays the Swamp. Okay, what is going on? I'm just going to cut to whenever it figures itself out. Okay, we are back. Only took me 2 minutes to get that figured out. Let's see. This is a deck that still plays removal. Another nameless inversion would be kind of annoying. What you got for me, friend? Let's get in there for the 3. And see, I want to Mana Leak that, but I can't go off of Soul Manipulation. Maybe that's a mistake. What would you have done in this position? Would you go off Soul Manipulation or not? There it is. There's us a target. Counter you. Choose target creature in the graveyard. Just Trinket Mage. It's the biggest body as well. It gives us a shuffle, and I'm kind of valuing that high to try to get a redraw on an island. All right, what did we let through? Carrion Feeder? I guess that's not actually that scary. You can't sacrifice all things to the Carrion Feeder. Alright, you got it, dude. Do we want that Brush with Death? That's going to become the question. I don't even know how far down it is. It's probably... Yeah, it's the next card. We're going to take 3, 6... we're looking pretty dead, unfortunately. We can't cast all... How did we get stuck on blue mana? So... Trinket Mage or Strix? We're going to take 3, go to 4. I think this is just good game, honestly. It's conceding pretty early, but I'm telling you, he's going to tap for 3, and then if he plays 1 zombie, he can tap for 4. I don't know how much of a difference this life staff made. It gained him, what, 6 life? But it's really more of a question of being stuck on blue than anything else. We're not presenting anything, so let's just play it. Show him how fierce our deck could have been. I don't think this is a bad matchup. I think if 2 of these swamps were islands instead, this hand obviously unlocks itself. He's gonna cycle, but all he has to do is play 1 zombie. So let's tell our opponent good game. Oh, there's even that. He doesn't even have to play it. And he'll come crashing on through. And we we will concede to that. And that'll do it for match 1. I haven't decided if I'm going to put all these... Like, it's not even letting me concede. Come on, internet. I'm not even sure if I'm going to put these all... How far away were we from an island? Would we have hit the island? Don't close out. I want to draw this card. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to put everything into one video or not. Since this was pretty lengthy, we could have like a really long 2 to 3 hour video with 2, 3, 4 matches, or I can break them up separately. We'll just see. So I'll end the video preemptively, and if this ends up not being the last thing you guys see, then I'll just cut that outro out. Hey everybody, we're about to jump into round 2, but I felt remiss if I didn't talk about some of the other birds that I almost played. Here is Blood Toll Harpy. It's flying and a harpy, which is the other sub-theme I was going for, or birds or harpies. When it enters the battlefield, each player loses 1 life. This helps give the deck some reach, being able to bounce it with Cavern Harpy. And the other bird I almost played... Give me a second. Sultai Scavenger, just because it's a really big body. I don't think delving would be too hard for this deck if it can go turn 1, island, ponder, turn 2. I don't know. I'm not saying we can get this guy out rocket fast. We don't play cards like... Geez. All of a sudden I'm not going to be able to think of what that card is called. Thought Scour. There's also Spire Owl. When enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. It's the same as Sage Owl. Yeah, it's the same as Sage Owl. I got Stormcrow because of the joke, and I almost put it in here. I almost did. But I opted against it. And Judge's Familiar. I don't know what the meta would have to look like for me to want Judge's Familiar. Counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1. Maybe a lot of Delver to counter Brainstorms. Or maybe to try to hit a Gush. But they would know it. They wouldn't really play a Gush into a Judge's Familiar, I don't think. But that's all the... There might have been more, but those are the ones I really wanted to talk about before heading into round 2. So I'll see you guys for round 2 in a second. Alright, we won the die roll, and we want to play first. This hand looks pretty good. We got a birdie, a trinket mage, a bounce effect, and a removal spell. We can cast everything with this mana. There may be better 7s, but I would be hard pressed to think of one. Maybe Strix instead of trinket mage, but this is fine. It'll allow us to get our bone splitter online sooner. So potentially burn. Maybe they're just leading on that to get it out of the way. I don't really know if there's any red mid-range decks in the format that would want a cycling red land, but I can see burn wanting it to cycle away lands later. Yep, there's that. So I'm gonna just preemptively say burn. Alright, our turn. Land. Doomblade is not at its best here, but it's far from its worst because they play all the little pingers. They play all the pingers. Alright, next turn we can't exactly double bird, but we can go Tidehollow Strix, Bone Splitter, equip. We'll see. Chain Lightning. There's no life gain in this deck. That's something I like about my green deck more than my black deck. for sure. Playing Pulse Marassa and life goes on. God, is Burn really this bad of a matchup? I guess when they kill our creature, it just takes all the pressure off. And there's land. We have counter spells. Okay, we actually do have a lot of counter spells in the sideboard. That is good news for us. We got 2 dispels, 2 negates. I'm just loading up here because we're not going to win this game by sitting back. But we don't play any life gain effects. I don't really like Burn, but it interests me in Pauper because I kind of just want to be fast with all the Flicker and Tron decks and such. I don't know. You guys who play Burn will have to give me a feel for where it stands in the current meta. Alright, that's Rift Bolt. We could technically die here. We don't even mind one of his creatures, or Doomblade has a target. He's not going to give us the satisfaction, though. What are the odds it's 3 lands? Ugh. Did a land enter the battlefield? Ugh. Fire Blast, I think, is the big one they have. There it is. Wow, I don't think... I'm going to go on a limb and say Burn can't have a better hand than that. There's our Radiant Fountain. Okay, so we're not... Ugh. Brush with Death, please. They're not going to have too many creatures out. I don't want to load up on removal. It is important, I think. I also think getting a clock is a good idea. So let's get these out of here. We're at 62, and I'm kind of debating on if we want to bring in the Coast Watchers just to be... they're not super aggressive, are they? I'll do it like this. Parasitic Strix can gain us 2 life. Brush with Death can gain us 2 life. And we got a good bit of counter spells. I'm taking these out because they only counter target creature spells. And we'll try it like this. I'm going to trade a Diabolic Edict for a Ponder. It's probably more important to set up our early draws than to have Edict effects lying around. I do want to have some way of interacting with his archers and alchemist. Would you keep this hand off the foot of Radiant Fountain Mana Leak? There's probably better hands, but this is almost like a counter spell because it gains us 2 life, and then that is a counter spell. I'll go with the island. Make him think maybe we're holding up Dispel. Well, he didn't jam or anything. Do I want to play into Searing Blaze, or do I want to try to get a threat on board? Actually, we kind of have feel bads because we... Yeah. Let's do Sage Owl. This will at least let us set up our draws. So I think it's kind of important enough. We're not going to die next turn. Okay, I want Ponder on top because I kind of want to shuffle all this away. So let's do it like that. Draw this Ponder next turn. And then we can, what? Ponder and hold up Mana Leak. So there's the creature. Now this is a way slower start than last time. So let's... This, and now what we can do is Ponder and hold up Mana Leak. Also, my little siblings are outside, so if you hear them, that's the little kids talking. It's totally not creepy. They like to sit outside my window and hang out. Yeah, any order, that's fine. Shuffle, yes please. Draw us a Trinket Mage, that's a clock, I guess. And now we're not getting too punished for shuffling away Bone Splitter. And we're also holding up Mana Leak. Now this is a cast trigger, not a resolve trigger. Yeah, let's go ahead and just get that out of here. Now there's a chance he has a mountain, can Thermo Alchemist us, Lightning Bolt us, untap. Or not. I'll take that too. Alright, well, we don't have any counter spells to present. Actually, I may have rather played Trinket Mage to get the Bone Splinter out. But I was thinking about getting Parasitic Strict online. I don't know. This is way more manageable than last game. So he drew a mountain, presumably. Ooh. Well, that didn't go to the face, to be fair. Needle Drop draws him a card. These are his weak burn spells, though, so far. So we can't be too upset. Lightning Bolt, okay. I wouldn't even be upset with Doomblade off the top here. That also works. Yeah, you got it, dude. It slows us down because we're not getting to commit a creature. Oh, dang. Huh. But if we can survive, maybe draw a Brush with Death to get us back up to 10. One mountain in play. Could probably still operate just fine. There's the second mountain. Let's do everything on our turn. I guess that's fine. So 3, that helps. I'm a little nervous that he's gonna try to do something with Parasitic Strict on the stack, so I'll wait a turn. I'll use that for sure. We'll just see if we're still alive. There's a chance we're not, but I also feel like he may have tried to bolt the Tide Hollow Strix. Which I guess you could make an argument would have... is like the Strix getting us 3 life. There's no way he's on just lands. Like we are. I suspect the worst, but we'll see. Oh, it happened. Okay. This is how we start turning the corner. Okay, I didn't realize it was waiting on me. Maybe I should have. Let's get this going. I'm going to put it on him because he doesn't die to the deal 1 damage junk that this guy is going on. We may can start turning a corner here. It's a tie game now. We've gained 4 life back, so keep... Okay. He had to tap out for that. Ooh, it's... Ooh. Starting to feel good. He can't do anything with that on the stack. Unless he's got Fire Blast, obviously, but... Fire Blast is the only spell you can cast tapped out. Maybe we get the concession here? Probably not, though, because 10 points of damage can't feel like that many for a burn player. There we go. Draw a card. That felt pretty good. We had to stabilize. We had to, and we did it. Oh, it didn't even board in my ponder. Both removal spells came in very handy, but I want the ponder because it helps us get there, you know. All right, here we are for game 3. I'm gonna keep because island into ponder. No counter spells though, but we can try to find them. Is this the moment we lost to burn? In this moment, keeping this hand? I don't know. Because we get Ponder and we get Sage Owl to really try to set up our draws. Mountain. Does burn do anything on their turn other than cast creatures? Or do they do it all instant speed? Come on, internet. We got to game 3 here. Come on. Alright, we're back. We're going to play this island. I'm so used to not doing anything on turn 1, I almost skipped the ponder, but that's what we're here. Ooh. Yes, please. We'll do it like this. I don't know how often we're going to be leaving up mana. It's kind of the thing. Because we're going to want to get something down. Maybe not. Maybe we don't care about playing anything. Maybe we want to hold up mana leak. What would we discard? Maybe Sage Owl? We might discard... We might play Owl Familiar, draw the other mana leak, discard the Sage Owl. We know this is a good Searing Blaze target, but... we also want it to eat the removal before Tide Hollow Strix eats the removal. Kind of shindig, you know? And then we'll have double mana leak. Can't be feeling too bad with double mana leak. Or maybe we'll discard the Trinket Mage because... yeah, we'll discard a Trinket Mage because currently we are not set up to play the Trinket Mages. We know that third land is not incoming. We'll see what opponent does. They can't do anything, so maybe they're just out of the room for a second. Alright, good deal. I'm having a lot of faith that the microphone's not picking up any of the outside noises. We'll just have to see, I guess. I want to get 3 rounds in with this bird deck, and I don't want to have to, you know, lose this match. I may put it up anyway with a disclaimer. So, discard the Trinket Mage. And then I'll just wait to record the 3rd match till they're put up or something. So, what you up to, opponent? Alright, so our opponent asked for a second, and that's fine by me. We're just going to cut back in whenever he joins us. Alright, so let's get back at it here. So we played the Owl Familiar, drew a card, realized we didn't have 3 lands, and discarded Trinket Mage. And now we're going to try to not get blown out by his creatures. Deals 3 damage to our creature unless that creature's controller has it deal 5 to him. Oh, this card, okay. Deal 5 damage to you? No, the bird can eat it here. As far as I'm concerned, that bird just gained us, what, 5 life? Let's go ahead and get the Sage Owl down to try to hook us up with some lands. Or removal spell. Alright. Ooh, how do we want to do this? I kind of want to draw the kill spell here. Don't think we saw land. Tide Hollow, negate, dispel, Diabolic Edict. Alright. But it's gonna feel good to kill one of these things. Rift Bolt, alright, I can live with the rift. The rifting of the bolts. But see, he can't have 2 creatures on here. They're gonna run us out of business here. You got it. You're gonna bolt me. Rift Bolt, alright. Ugh. It's kind of a bad position to be in. I don't know how bad burn is. Is there any... Should I go up on the brush with deaths? Because, this didn't seem too fun. He's almost out of gas, but we'll probably be dead before it matters? We just can't do all these things in one turn. I mean, maybe we should have held up Mana Leak. You know what I mean? So, who knows? Let's see, I got some cards pulled up in front of me. Dispel. I don't know if the matchup, because it doesn't even hit Chain Lightnings. Negate me? I don't know if the matchup is so great we have to go, or so bad we have to go up to 4 on those things. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Blue Elemental Blast, obviously, or Hydro Blast, I guess. The only problem is, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not paying the Pauper inflation on stuff, so Hydro Blast, I'm not paying. I got it pulled up. It says $42 for 4 of them. That comes out to just under $11 each. So, no way. I like Pauper. I want to beat Burn, but I don't want to have to invest $42 just to do that. That's kind of what I expected, though I think we definitely live. Oh, my ankle just popped. We definitely live, because he can cast at... No, we don't definitely live. I shouldn't say that about a Burn player ever. If that's just double bolt, we lose. Or even single bolt. He's going to ping us down to 5, probably with that on the stack. I would assume, anyway. Man, maybe go up to a 3rd Radiant Fountain? And when we get the Aqueducts, maybe Radiant Fountain, Aqueduct, bouncing Radiant Fountain, playing the Radiant Fountain, gaining 4 life will help. So there that is on the stack, which we expected. So that's got us down to 3. I mean, he has to be holding lands at this point, right? Is this a good game? Good game, opponent. That's unfortunate, but that's the Burn matchup. Man. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna assume that our deck is not really configured too well to beat burn. That's just kind of my theory there. They're like in game 1, game 1 they destroyed us. Game 2, we had the counter spells, we had the Radiant Fountain, and you saw what I mean about Trinket Mage and Bone Splinter putting a clock on them. We didn't have that in game 2. I'm trying to think of other cards that help the matchup. Brush with Death jumps to my mind. There's more cards like that. I'm trying to get them pulled up. Here we go. Evan Carr's Justice. Maybe that's how you say it. Maybe it's like... I'm not even gonna... You probably know what card I'm talking about if you play Pauper. It deals 2 damage. No, that doesn't help us. That deals 2 damage to each creature and player. That's good for creature matchups. That doesn't gain... I don't know why I was thinking it was like Brush with Death and it gained us life. This is the best card in my mind. Just can't think of anything else. Radiant Fountain gains us 2 life. And then counterspell. So is that the plan? Just board up on counterspells? Is that how we beat burn? I mean, Timely Doomblades and Diabolic Edicts. We were able to kill both their creatures. So maybe that's the game plan. Maybe we just didn't draw into the game plan in game 3. I don't know. I hope you guys did enjoy this. I'll probably try to get one more match up and maybe condense it all into one long video. Hopefully this episode was salvageable and it didn't pick up too much of the background noises, but I'm going to take a little break and then I'll be back to record episode 3 or round 3. And I'll just see you guys in that round. All right, before we jump into round 3, I just wanted to show off some of the cards I found I had lying in my collection. That's Siphon Life, Alms of the Veins, Brush with Death, Moment's Craving, and Shamble Back. Shamble Back I don't think helps us with burn really at all. Exile a target creature card from a graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, you gain 2 life. Maybe, but it's very dependent on a creature card being in the graveyard. I don't know how I feel about it. Moment's Craving. Thermo Alchemist seems to be the creature they care about, and Thermo Alchemist is a 0/3. This does not kill that. Alms of the Vein is pretty expensive, but it is arguably a better rate than target opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Its upside is you can madness it for 1, but we don't have anything that would cause us to trigger the madness cost, whereas this in the late game we can at least buy back. And Siphon Life, target player loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Retrace means we can discard a land from our hand to cast it again. So I'm actually going to run Siphon Life over Brush with Death. And I want to try out 2 of them. Though I'm gonna just, I only have 1. I was gonna take out the Choking Sands in favor of the Siphon Life. But oh well, I'll see you guys in the 3rd round here. Alright, here we are. This is probably keepable. Due to the fact that we do have a Chainer's Edict and a Tide Hollow Strix, depending on what we see across the table. Delver, alright. So depending on days, we can just straight up Edict this guy. We'll go for it. See if he's got the days. Well, looky there. Alright, well, we won't count this. We'll move on to the real round 3. Hopefully we get loaded pretty quickly. Yes, we would like to play first. And is this keepable? Probably. Yeah, I would say it's keepable. I never like busting the Bajuka Bog this early. I like leaving it around. Okay. I'll let you get yourself figured out. There you go. Doesn't matter. All right. We have Owl Familiar. Let's see. Zombie, Mono Black Control, Blue Black Control. What are we up against here? We definitely want to get the island online so that we can... I don't have anything that I want to discard. I'm okay taking a turn off. And if this is Mono Black Control or zombies, we know the witches can be just a nightmare for us. So we'll just hold up Mana Leak. We can even Trinket Mage next turn. And then our Cavern Harpy will have a good target. Okay, good deal. I was just thinking, I hope he doesn't hold us here forever. Sacrifice a creature. So some kind of sack deck, but we were holding up Mana Leak for this. Alright. Swamp. We even can kill whatever slips through the crack off of this. We should have a pretty good turn 4. Depending on how far on the back foot he puts us. I'll talk about upgrades in the future. I do like this deck. I'm not saying this is going to break the meta or anything like that, because, simply put, there's already a blue-black flicker deck that plays Denrova's Horror, Muldrifter, Seagate Oracle, and some other stuff. And we're probably not better than that deck, so if you're going solely off of that, I'm gonna just keep it up. What are they doing? Okay. That's fine. Undying will make it come back as a 2/2. I'm debating on what I want to do. I could equip Bone Splitters, but I'm just going to bounce Trinket Mage back to my hand. I could have played an Owl Familiar. Just not sure. Okay, well, he's got 2 sack outlets, but nothing to sack so far. I suppose you could sack it to itself. Okay. Probably just gonna do this. Go and get us another Bone Splitter. Get it down. And start racing, I guess. That's probably the correct line. These sacrifice decks, they have to be very wary of an Edict deck. But yeah, there's just better probably blue-black flicker decks. This is... I wanted to do something tribal. I really love Cavern Harpy. I watched it in Legacy. And I wanted to build a deck around it, and Pauper was, to me, kind of the place for it. I think it has a chance to be really good. There's a bunch of utility birds. Probably some I don't even know about. So this is going to let him... Is he transmuting, or is he... So he's transmuting. Search your library for a card with... So what are you getting? I'm not sure what this deck is doing. I know it's a sack deck, but I don't know what its goal is. Maybe it is just Bloodthorn Vampire. Maybe he's just getting another one. Did he sacrifice it? Cabal Ritual. Okay. What are you trying to do with that much mana? I don't think I've seen this deck before. Probably not getting in. Trying to figure out. Okay, so there it was. He sacrificed it. Let's play this island. Kind of want to start with Ponder. See what's up with our deck here. Well, these seem like good things to be doing. Nope. Gonna keep that around. Gonna get my Bone Splitter down. Gonna take myself off of Edict for one turn. Equip. And equip. And let's go at it. Guaranteed to get the 6 through. And we'll see if he wants to trade. Not scared of this, and I don't know what in the world he could possibly do next turn that would make us concede. And we got him under a pretty good clock. We got 6 in the air regardless of what happens, unless there's a removal spell. Anyway, I built this deck mostly to show off some of the cool bouncing stuff you can do with birds. And I was going to put Mole Drifter in, The original draw up had Mole Drifter in there, but I kind of felt like it. Yeah, all right, good deal. The unfortunate thing is he didn't show us what in the world he's trying to do with all that. So, what is going on here? There's no way Blue Black Birds is just so powerful people are conceding left and right. We'll try it one more time. So I guess you guys are actually getting 5 rounds in, huh? Won the die roll. Oof. Would you keep a 5-land hand with Soul Manipulation and Diabolic Edict? You too. No, because we don't even have anything to turn on Soul Manipulation, so I'm going to mulligan this. Alright, I guess we'll keep this. Would have liked an island, for sure. I could go swamp, cycle this. I do get to scry. So no blue cards, please. I'm wondering if that's the line. I'm going to hold up the swamp. Ugh. I really wanted to see an island on the top. I don't know. I may have to cycle this. Haven't played against a Swift Water Cliffs too often. Bone Splitter. Alright, well, let's do this. At what point do I cycle this Baron? No, I wanted to play the Bone Splitter. I just hit OK too fast. Teamer. I love me some Teamer. I think we have to. It's kind of scary. Oh, jeez. What am I doing? I needed to tap Radiant Fountain since it taps for colorless. We do have an answer to the first thing he plays. That's a good feeling. While we stumble around trying to get the island. Then we can ponder, try to set up our draws from there. Thankfully, we're not getting overly punished yet. Or at all. Oh my goodness. My normal rule for keeping a hand is can you cast everything? And this hand didn't exactly pass that, but I figured we've drawn 3 cards. Yep, Teamertron. Got that Choking Sands. One more time. We'll draw one more card. If we can't play anything, there's no use in showing him anything else. He's probably trying to figure out what black decks plays Radiant Fountains. And we just don't have to show him anything if we don't want to. We can concede, quit the match. Apparently that's the thing to do. This feels really bad. This was a slow Tron start. We have Bone Splitters. We could still win. But alas. Never drew the second. Never drew the island. So give me Disdainful Stroke. Do we want the Coast Watchers? Probably the Doom Blades. They're gonna have targets. That is for sure. I'm not going to Dispel or Negate, because we really had to copy the Thorn. The Thorn dude. Just gonna start trimming some owls. What else do we trim? Trim one more owl. We're going pretty low on threats. Oh yeah, we do want Choking Sands. I'll just cut a Bone Splitter. I'm not really sure what to cut. Ponder will hopefully help us mitigate some of this. We cut 3 threats from the board. I know we want a clock, but I'm gonna trust that. What is it? Our 16 birds we got in there, 19 birds. Trust that they come through for us. All right, here we go. Get us in here. All right. Yes. Ooh, we can cast everything. This is a perfect hand. And right now we're going to value counter spells over removal spells, because it'll take them a while to get up to the top of their curve. It's not going to be the Mole Drifters and the Sea Gates that kill us. Alright, so let's lead on Island. Maybe we should have led on Swamp since he knows the Swamp. He didn't know the Island, but you know. That's just how it goes sometimes. Unknown Shores, that's not doing anything yet. Well, I guess he can actually play a lot of his artifacts. But I think Mana Leak will be better in the later turns. There's Doomblade. I don't really want to have to discard any of this stuff, but we gotta get that threat online. Currently, Soul Manipulation is the weakest card. Yep. That's a shame, but we are on to bigger and better things. I think this hand is capable of erasing them. We'll see, though. I've had this deck beat so close so many times. It's like, we should really splash for the... Wait, hold on. Okay, I did bring in the Choking Sands. Choking Sands off the top would be kind of cool. We're going for the ultimate pressure. Now, Familiar, get in there. Would have played a Trinket Mage to get the Bone Splitters, but didn't have that, obviously. You know, I haven't played Boros or Stompy yet. I heard a lot about how good they were, but I haven't. Okay, he's pretty far off of Tron. But he can start playing Seagate Oracles or Mole Drifters, which I guess we care about Mole Drifter a bit more than Seagate Oracle. But no, it'd just be invoking anyway. Flame Slash, that's fine. Maybe he's got a bounce effect to... Or, I don't know. I was thinking it was a token at first, but it's not. All he did was help us up the clock. Let's start with a Ponder before we play the Strixes. Mana Leak, Ponder, Swamp. Send it back. Alright, well there's that. Let's get the clock going. Don't feel a need to Mana Leak anything. I think the only thing of relevancy he can play would be Seagate Oracle, and I'm just not scared of that. The biggest blowout is Rolling Thunder, which if I can find another land, I won't go off a Mana Leak ever again. But I feel like we're not going to beat them if we're not attacking. So holding up Mana Leak just, I don't think will get us there. I mean, Rolling Thunder, he needs double red anyway, so there's just no reason to playing around that yet. That's how we'll lose games. When we are given a chance to play around it, we probably should. But we gotta keep this clock going non-stop. I'm feeling okay right now, but the second he's able to make double red, we'll feel a little less okay about ourselves. But double island, double Urza's Tower, Mole Drifter maybe? Oh, just the wall. He can get back the Flame Slash, but he can't use it this turn. Now, Mana Leak is not going to be good enough here. That's good, though. I'm just going to try to override his removal. Get in there. This is 5. He's dead next turn, but we know he's got the Flame Slash. That'll buy him a turn. I think this is how we were supposed to beat Tron, is them not be super explosive and us just beat them to death with little birdies. It's going to feel good to end the series. If we got to pull it off. Flame Slash is coming our way for sure. Take out one of our birds. All right, we got there. Was this... Who won game 1? Was that us? Them? That took a while. I was like, is it over? I can't remember game 1 at all, but I'm guessing they won. Yeah, we conceded. Okay. I don't remember it at all. Do I want another Chainer's Edict, or... He hasn't showed us a creature yet, but I know the top of their curve. My cats have decided they're going to go play outside the door. Hopefully they won't be too loud. I guess I could play Ulamog's Crusher too. Well, this is 6 lands and a Bone Splitter. Few hands are easier to mulligan than this. Gotta keep that and hope that the Scry and Ponder... Do you put the Ponder on top? You knowing you're gonna draw the Ponder and then... I guess, it gives us 2 looks. Because scrying it to the bottom gives us 1 new card, whereas pondering gives us 3 potential new cards. I like keeping it on top. You have to let me know what you guys would do in that situation. Alright. Sorry about that. There's the ponder we knew about. Let's just go ahead and fire it off. I'm gonna shuffle that. We need an actual creature for our Cavern Harpy. That's not an actual creature. I was thinking about the burn matchup, and you know, I don't think we countered anything. I think we gained 4 life off of Radiant Fountain and Parasitic Strict, and then killed the creatures that we needed to kill. There's Disdainful Stroke. Let's ponder first. Okay, this looks better. Doomblade, I'll use you last. Let's do it like that and have something to actually play. And we'll get the bone splitter down. Okay, now this hand's becoming functional. We can counter one thing and kill another and start putting some pressure on, so kind of feels all right. Oh no, not. I mean, I play control in modern, so I never feel bad for Tron, but like I said, I think this is how we're supposed to win this game. Flame slashing me in response. Ooh. How often does that come up? Maybe against Tron that comes up a lot. Or against Affinity that comes up a lot. My bone splitter was like, where do I go? That hurts, actually. It does unlock soul manipulation, but he's a little ways away from that. What we'll have to do is hold up soul manipulation. We know we're drawing... Yeah, we knew we were drawing Doomblade. This feels bad not getting to advance the board, but if he tries to play Seagate Oracle or Mole Drifter, we'll soul manipulate it. That's not it. We're both just stuck here. Alright, he's close to Tron. Alright, keep making our land drops. This is not how we beat Tron. Feels bad. For sure. Game 1 is a blur to me. I really don't remember it at all. Bird, please. Trinket Mage, something right here. That'll work. Do I want to go ahead? No. I'll save Cavern Harpy for if he chooses to... Why didn't I equip it? I can equip it instant speed though, right? When he passes priority, I can put... I can do it on his instep, right? Equip his instant speed. I don't have to feel bad. It actually works out because I can hold up Disdainful Stroke and Doomblade, right? That's what I'm telling myself. Hopefully it's right. Stormbound guys is pretty good. I like seeing it. Double blue is kind of tricky, but it worked out this time. But I think this is a fair deck. It's super cheap to build in paper. I don't have the prices, but I mean, I got most of this stuff off of free bots online. I had to buy the Cavern Harpies and the Tidehollow Strix and maybe the Parasitic Strix, but the Owls were on free bot. I had the Ponders because I was buying some modern cards or some legacy cards. Had to buy the Soul Manipulation. I had Disdainful Stroke from modern. Had Doomblade from modern. That's why the deck's not using Brainstorm or Preordain. I think Preordain might be better. It also might not be better than Ponder. You could play Brainstorm in this deck because you have the Trinket Mages. Though I think if you're going to play Brainstorm, you might want to get some Evolving Wilds in here, which I didn't do. Wonder what they're thinking about. And let's see. You could even probably on a budget throw some Mole Drifters in there. That's the other thing I like about it. If you're getting into Pauper, this is a super cheap deck. And it has an upgrade path into blue-black Blink. There's that. This is Invoked. One time someone played an Invoked Mole Drifter and I Doombladed it and I felt so bad. This also isn't going to be what kills us, so I'm not Disdainful Stroking it. By the way, it may help them find the Tron land that they need, but then we have the Disdainful Stroke for that. Nope, just Urza's Power Plant. So am I right about this, or what? Can I should be able to equip. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can only equip it sorcery. I don't play a lot of equipments. I'll be honest, I'm mostly playing Control. Equipments are not really in my repertoire. But yeah, that is one thing that I really like about it. Yeah, I guess we can only do it. Is that right? I'll have to give that a Google. I felt like you could do it at instant speed, but maybe you can't. Get in there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are presenting Disdainful Stroke and Soul Manipulation and Doomblade, so gotta be liking our position here. And we don't have to use Cavern Harpy until this takes a hit. I think this is the deck doing what it wants to do. It's kind of really dirtily sometimes because Cavern Harpy really wants a bird on the battlefield. Parasitic Strict really wants a bird on the battlefield. Whew. Would you Disdainful Stroke this? I can't imagine there being anything with flash creature-wise that's going to kill us. I'm kind of we have a clock on board. I'm kind of just trying to counter what's going to kill us. And Crusher, Fangren, Muldrifter, Seagate Oracle, the usual suspects for this deck do not have flash. They could go and get Pulse Marasa. Okay. That is something we can't counter. But they don't have a land. Oh, they have Muldrifter. That's honestly fine. If you're doing that just to get your Muldrifter back. Okay, let's do it this way. We're taking ourselves. No, I still like this line. I do. This is what we came to do. Bounce that. Play it. No. Okay, that works. He doesn't have to know that. And I forgot to equip. Sorry, I don't... This one clearly is an artifact. It doesn't look like that. That's okay. That's okay. As long as this lives the next turn, we can still Parasitic Strict. Wait for him to pay some kind of cost. He still is not on Tron, man. He's looked at a lot of cards. I guess not a whole lot more than us, but he went and got... Okay. He's not on the... Oh, never mind. Pulse is a good card. I run it in my green-black list. Everyone knows about it now, so everyone plays around it. We, unfortunately, aren't really going to be able to play around it. We don't have a way of exiling their graveyard at instant speed or whatnot. I typically am the one casting Pulse, so I have to play around that kind of stuff. It's a pretty fun card. But I think we can start closing the door. We got 6 points. He didn't do anything. No. People like to kill the Cavern Harpy while Parasitic Strict is on the stack. So I'm going to go ahead and get my damage in and make them do something now. Alright, well, I hate to say you're dead next turn. Let's present both Disdainful Stroke and Doomblade. The bird deck, dude, it's getting there. It's tough playing 3 colors in Pauper. There's the Pulse. Yeah. So you're back to 13 and you got Muldrifter, right? That helps. That definitely helps. But we can just Doomblade it. Or Disdainful Stroke it. And let's see. 4, 6, 8, He's throwing off our math here. What's your play, bud? Yeah, you got it. This seemed like a way too controlling. Oh, that's just wrong and brutal. I'm not saying we have the kill here. But, let's do it like this. This deck's just running them out of resources. Down to 4. Presenting Doomblade, Soul Manipulation, Tide Hollow Strix, Disdainful Stroke. If you can get the deck to this point, it feels... Yeah, there we go. We won the match. I'll meet you guys to close the video here in a second. Okay, I really don't want this part to be long. I think this video is going to be a couple hours long, maybe. Depends. A lot of it's getting... There are some awkward silences I'm going to do everyone a favor and I'm going to cut out, so we'll see. I like this deck. It's the first Pauper deck I built, so it's near and dear to my heart. I really like it. I don't know how great it is, but we just beat Team Tron. And that feels really good. That feels really good to beat a Tron deck. Most of the time I'm playing some blue deck, so beating Tron is almost just out of the question. I'm not playing burn spells or really fast clocks, so to get the monkey off my back, so to speak, feels really good. But you can definitely expect to see this one back on the channel. I'll give it a little break. Maybe, I don't know. It depends. We'll see. I want to get some ghostly flickers, and I don't know. I don't know what else. This deck probably wants counterspell, maybe? I've been playing the splashable counterspells. Mana Leak, Dispel, Negate. But, and Soul Manipulation. Maybe it wants counterspell. I think it wants Ghostly Flicker because Flickering Parasitic Strix and Trinket Mage and Stormbound Geist all feel like things this deck wants to be doing. And I like the Trinket Mage Bone Splitter package a lot. I think that worked out very well. We'll try out Siphon Life next time. I think the burn matchup is pretty 50-50. On the play, we beat them pretty good. We killed their things, gained 4 life, put a clock on them thanks to Trinket Mage and Bone Splitter, and took over the game. Zombies, I honestly think if we, instead of having 4 swamps, 1 island, it was 3 swamps, 2 islands, we probably win that game. Like, our whole hand was locked up, and we couldn't do 2 things in 1 turn, which is really what we wanted to do to turn the tide. So I don't know how favored we are against burn, but it doesn't seem unwinnable. And Mono Black Zombie seems also winnable. We got the Edict effects. Once they sack their board, we just Diabolic Edict whatever's left, Carrion Feeder or whatnot, and try to win it that way, I guess. I don't even know how necessary life gain is or counterspells are to beating burn. Seems like just drawing the right combination of counterspell, gain life, creatures, which we did in game 2, we did not do in game 1 and 3, and our results reflected that. We beat Team Tron, but maybe that was just because they stumbled, but that's just kind of how it goes, right? As far as the sideboard goes, I'm not sure. Coast Watcher seems good, but I have yet to play a green deck, other than some builds of Affinity and that Team Tron deck. We didn't even bring it in because I just figured it's here for Stompy, where we want protection from green on turn 2 to start blocking. We just have a better, plan against Tron than Coast Watchers. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to try to get it out today, but it may just take too long to edit, so it may come out later in the week. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I may play some standard, or we may run this back again, get a couple more matches in it. I really don't mind. 2 questions. Actually, I'll just do 1 question for this video. What should we call this series? We can call it just Magic the Gathering Pauper, or we can call it something like Playing Pauper or Practicing Pauper. I don't know what's too cliche of a name or not, but definitely let me know down in the comments. And any addition you guys would like to see. I think this deck wants Ghostly Flicker. I want to try Ghostly Flicker. Maybe cut a Ponder and a Mana Leak and try 2 Ghostly Flickers. I don't know. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments what you guys think. And I will see you guys in the next exciting episode of Magic the Gathering. Have a great day, guys. Hey, everybody. Just popping in real quick to do a quick outro just to say, I know I said I was going to have music playing, but honestly, the video came out to 2 hours long, and it was hard to find good music to put to it. I'm just not sure what music goes with Magic. A lot of it was either really energetic, really happy, really sad. So it was kind of hard finding royalty-free instrumental music that goes along with it. So I'm uploading this video with no music. You guys just let me know how that sounds. I know with a lot of Magic players, they upload it with no music, and there's some dead time in between some actions, but they do it anyway, and I watched them, and it hasn't really been a problem to me. So I'm kind of hoping it's not a problem for any of you guys, but just let me know. You can suggest royalty-free instrumental tracks that you think fits Magic. You can tell me if you think it needs it or doesn't need it. I'll obviously do my best to just keep talking and try to keep dead time to a minimum. But alright, no need to make this video longer than it needs to be. I will see you guys in the next exciting Pauper video. Have a great day, guys.